But we're gonna take these apart, rip these big old 400 amp breakers apart, and pull some silver out of there. I got a whole pile of these big breakers. So normally I don't let much interrupt my copper wire stripping party, but 2,800 pounds of transformers and ballast is definitely worth taking a break to go take care of. Oh, hey man, we got this other machine over here running too. It's just running away. Might as well feed it some copper. What do we got? Oh, we cutting it. Oh, there we go. Nice. Look at that. These things get right in there, man. And you got a hammer on the back side if you don't want to use the blade all the time. It's just, it's removing this copper real nice. And then you can just chop everything. Hit it with the hammer. Boom, there you go. It's like copper transformers on there. Then we could just kind of depopulate the board a little bit. There you go. Man, we're micro scrapping. Okay, that hatchet absolutely destroyed those ballasts, and I still got all my fingers, so that's good. So today on Project Shop, we have an absolute mess. We've been trying to get rid of this bin over here. And then we went out and picked up some more scrap. We got a little bit more wire. And we got this massive automatic transfer switch. Got some good stuff in there, some copper bus bars. This thing actually works and is in good condition. Well, it was at one point. But we're gonna take these apart, rip these big old 400 amp breakers apart, and pull some silver out of there. I got a whole pile of these big breakers that I've been saving up to do a silver tear down, see how much silver we recover. We got another generator back here to add to our ever-growing stator pile we got back there, and electric motors and whatnot. Got a big old, I think that's a 800 amp breaker there we need to break down. And we got this bin over here with some light fixtures, a little bit more aluminum wire, and I got some transformers around here somewhere. Okay, we are getting there. We cleaned up all this stuff. Now, I did all that on a time lapse because that was some real tedious stuff. And we were just cleaning up. But now we got this bin of lights over here and some more aluminum wire. We're gonna add to the stuff we did the other day. But we recovered some good stuff. We got a copper brass radiator, and I got a couple more little ones back there. We're gonna, copper aluminum ones we're gonna cut up here in a minute. But we added to our electric motor pile, and got some interesting stuff. One thing I want to know if you guys have ever recycled this aluminum, or if you know what is actually on there. Is that aluminum or some other type of material? I have a stator around here somewhere. I have a couple of these, and pretty much it looks like instead of using copper, they molded, injected, or you know, poured hot aluminum inside there to make that. You know, I seen a guy shearing this off, but I didn't see if he got it out of the middle there. The only way I see it coming out of the middle is running that through a hammer mill or something. I don't know. But, you know, we're gonna work on that. And we recovered some brass. A bunch of these here, and I have a whole bucket full of stuff like that we're gonna go through, you know, in another video. Oh, it looks like more brass. Oh, that's all them nuggets down there. Yeah, we still need to do them. And I recovered all this stainless steel that came with my thing there. We're gonna pull the brass sheet off of it. I'm on the fence of whether I'm gonna keep this or scrap it. I think I'm gonna scrap it. I really don't have a use for stainless angle like this. But it is nice stuff. It's hard to get rid of stuff like this. I'm gonna go get lunch. Steve's gonna break down them lights real quick. I'm gonna put the time lapse on that. Okay, so we cracked a bunch more ballast open. Now, these ones here, these old ones, I figured they would be copper, but here's what we got, man. It's probably hard to tell, but that's aluminum, and that little coil is copper. I wouldn't recommend breaking these open. There's a number on here, 806 SPTCP. You don't want to mess with them. If they look like that, they're pretty much something you just want to kind of sell right off. It's not worth messing with. Now these ones here, what do we got? All aluminum. Well, that's aluminum and that's copper. And that is a advanced RQM2S403-TP. Okay, I wouldn't recommend trying to open those up, not really worth it. This one here, this was double copper. That feels really heavy. This was a little mini power lighting products, 8G491, and it says no PCBs over there for all you PCB fans. What do we got here? This is an old one. I don't even know what that says. Ben something, ballast number R1 something something, no PCBs. See that right there? I don't know if it's coming in, but if it looks like that and it's mini, a little double copper in there. Here's another double copper. This Keystone Technologies cat number 234TPH. They're worth breaking down. Now this one was interesting right here. Double copper. This was really old. This was literally like stamped into the steel. Keystone Transformer Company. You know, if you got them and they're stamped in there, that's probably old. And double copper. Advanced. Not sure what the number is on that one, but that's a double copper. What do we got here? Magnatech 439L TCP. Was that double copper? Yeah, double copper. That's worth breaking down. We got another double copper here. I think that's the same one. Yeah, Magnatech. This is the power lighting products one, double copper. What do we got here? This one's really heavy, double copper. Advanced R2E75S3TP. What a bunch of freaking names, man. Jesus. I bet that all means something, you know? Double copper. This was one of those old ones like that. Not sure what the name brand was. Here's another double copper. Okay, this is a different one. Energy Saver. Rapid Start. High pressure or something. RS240P2. No PCBs. Worth breaking open. Nice little chunk. Here's another advanced. Okay. Assembled in Mexico. Has this one got PCBs? Slime line ballast. Anyway, for replacement use only. I wonder what that means. Why would it be replacement use only? So you couldn't put this in a factory ballast? Huh, that's odd. And then we got another Keystone, number 234TPH. Worth breaking down. These got nice little chunks of copper in there. So there you have it. There's a little update on some ballast, which ones to break down, which ones not. Obviously the electronic ones, anything that says electronic, Quicktronic, you don't want to mess with. I'm not sure what this was, but it felt kind of light, so I didn't even attempt to open it up. We're just going to send them to the scrap yard. We're going to process these here, get all the little nuggets of copper out, add it to our little stash number 2 we got going on here. And we got some transformers on the table. Now, unfortunately, these here, these big boys, are double aluminum, or at least the ones I checked. I did check a couple of these, and they're all the same. This FHJ CA auto transformer ballast, 1000 watt, junk. 1000 watt of aluminum transformer. And then we got these ones here. These ones here, if you ever see the ones with the plastic on it, 100% of the time, those are going to be copper coils on those. So we know we got a little bit of copper here. Not much going on here. We recovered these out of all them lights today, but we're going to blow through them real quick and then get on to stripping some wire. Okay, we're back at it. The GoPro died and I was getting one kind of late, so we kind of called it. We're gonna continue our quest to recover all this copper. A lot of spaghetti in there. Hopefully pretty soon we'll get the granulator back up and running here so we don't have to deal with all this with the wire stripper, and we can blow through it a lot faster when we got 2 machines running. I might try to fire up the little the Model 1000, see if we can get a little bit of stripping going with that. And then we're gonna move on over here to recovering transformers. I still have some transformers chilling in the freezer from the last video. I forgot about them. We don't have much of these, but we'll crack them real quick and add to our little bit of copper we have. Get a little more run time with running the foot pedal, which I actually kind of like, man. It did pretty good. The only thing is it's moving around a lot. I need it more kind of stable where it's at. So what I'm thinking of doing is screwing it to like a little sheet of aluminum and having it tucked underneath this thing so it don't move around. But other than that, this thing's doing good. It's nice having the second machine back up here so we're independent of each other when we're cracking these things. just when you thought it was safe to start stripping some wire, some transformers come along. So normally I don't let much interrupt my copper wire stripping party, but 2,800 pounds of transformers and ballast is, you know, definitely worth taking a break to go take care of. Now, check this out. This is 700 pounds of copper aluminum transformers, and it's like almost 3/4 of a drum, but only weighs 700 pounds. This is 900 pounds of copper transformers, and it's right around a little bit more, around half a drum. Just shows you the difference. Well, it's probably kind of hard to see on camera, but those aluminum ones, they just don't weigh like these copper ones. And we've got a couple big boys in there. This is a rare sight. Here's a what do we got here? 1500 water. You don't get that much. These come from like sport lighters. Now, most of these transformers, a lot of them were brand new. The guy had them in a container, and the container was leaking. They got damaged. Some of these things were still in the box. Got some interesting stuff. Never even seen one of these before, but these ones here up on the table, aside from those are aluminum from that last video. But these ones we already checked. They're all the same metal halide ballast. These are copper. These need to be checked. These are drivers. They can go. We're just kind of looking at them. But these ones here, I need to go through and check. They felt really heavy. There's a lot of the same ones. We'll open them up, check one. Then if they're good, we're gonna process them. And these are just ballast, and these are just electronic ballast and LED drivers. We're just gonna send off to the scrap yard. But it got late getting all this stuff in here, so we're gonna have to come back tomorrow and finish our copper recovery marathon. Okay, we're back at it, and we're on this spaghetti wire. Now what I've been doing is running all the red wire. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know when I do spaghetti wire, I like to try to stick with one color and pull it all out of here as much as possible. So what we're going to do now is switch to the white, and or we'll do this green first. There's not much left of that. All right. Normally I like to pull this until it gets hard. Just cut it and send it. Always check to make sure you're doing good. Yep, we might be squeezing a little hard on that. Keep the pieces around 10 foot so that they don't get crazy on the backside. And the reason I like to stick to one color on the spaghetti is because this can be overwhelming and an absolute nightmare to try to untangle. And once you start pulling one color and you do it for a while, eventually you're going to come up on the back sides of the ones you already cut, and it's just going to pretty much free itself up. And I got this bin here. A lot of people always saying about me bending over and picking the wire up off the ground. That does suck. But I don't always have the option of a bin. Now, I had already been pulling this green wire earlier. See, this is what happens. You get one little kink in there like that and screws your whole shit up. The main thing is try to keep this machine moving. Keep feeding it. You know, you don't want to wait too long before you get another piece in there. Now this is some small wire, but we like to strip it all over here. Oh! All right, now we're going to switch to this white wire since it's pretty much free now. Just give it a little check. It's looking good. Now, you could let this run But what's gonna happen is you're gonna tangle that wire up on the backside. It's just gonna be a nightmare. See what happened there? The backside of that wire jumped off the roller. And then that's going to create a problem. Let's see if we can't find that piece. Here it is. For whatever reason, I think it's because my things are worn out down in there. See that? It's got that groove from running so much wire. It literally wore away the metal. So once this gets flat, it'll never want to go back in there again. It just doesn't work. It just gets cocked sideways and on the side of that blade. But what I found is this machine over here does a really good job at finishing this up when that happens. And we can actually get it off there relatively easy. But I kind of shredded it. I was squeezing that hard. But it did recover it. Now, I was running this Romex through here. And this thing strips this pretty much in one pass. Look at that. All clean. Nice. The only issue I have with this machine is I think I need new blades, and since I got it sideways, the crap be falling down in there. And sometimes this stuff gets caught. Oh, I got that dialed in just right there. Did it peel that black one? Oh, look at that. We got a little sharp cut on there. But it peeled all three of them wires at once in one pass, which is pretty incredible. Now I think I can do that with this machine as well. But I think I just had to squeeze it super hard on the backside. And I'm pretty sure that's how I burned up my other motor. I had these cranked down real tight, and I was squeezing this stuff super hard. You probably got to have it flat. Let's see if we can run some of this through here in one pass. Crank on that a little more. See what we got. I'm gonna run a double roller, not even using a blade. Yeah, it did it in one pass. No blade. Nice, that 5-horse motor, man. You can really crank down on this stuff now. Oh, I got a mess. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's get back to what I was doing. We're cutting that kind of hard. put it in that one. That's like burnt copper there. Look at that. Well, it's stripping it. Doing a good job. Well, try to keep them around 10 foot if you're going to pile it up on the backside, man, because it really helps. It really makes a difference when you're trying to clean up back there. See that? One little kink. That's some corroded stuff, man. Okay. Solid core. Now the solid wire, I can run through the double roller and it just flattens it. No problem. Or you can run it through the blade. Probably should just run it through the double roller so you're not wearing out your blade. Look at this mess. Yeah, let's run it through the double roller. Yeah, it's coming out clean. Now this solid core wire is an absolute nightmare if you're running long runs back there. It just tangles up everywhere. Good way to get your finger in one of these knots. That's actually how my clutch came to be. I got my finger wrapped up in here, and even though I was quick to shut this machine down, see how long it takes for that thing to shut down? I had my finger trapped back here, and by the time I shut it down, my finger was all the way up here touching here. And that's how I came about putting a clutch on here, because it's instant. It stops right away. So even though this thing looks as crazy as it does, I probably have the world's safest wire stripper, except for when shit like this happens. At least it shut itself off. All right, enough playing around. I like to give my wire a good shake. we'll let it ride. Shit. It'll come back. What I'm going to do on these things like this, sometimes it's just easier to cut one side and then get a whole bunch ready to rock and roll. Uh-oh. Cutting good. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. copper dancing before?